Launch us off, Brian. We're live.
Oh, hey, Jesus, we're live. Okay, so my internet was so horrible everywhere. I have a fix. Brian from Lots Project is sending me some Cat 5, so I'm going to string real cable out to the studio. So today, you get to see my greenhouse.
Yay, greenhouse. Grow your food, man. That's one way to get off the X.
Yes, right? Yeah, or at least grow something that people like to trade money for to you.
We're totally adding sheep. So you hear it here now. We're adding a flock of sheep.
Wow.
And the person I'm buying it from doesn't know we're buying it from her yet unless she's watching this show.
Oh, that's great.
We haven't told her yet, but we had a call Monday about it.
So you guys had an internal holler discussion on like, should sheep be done?
It was more like, are we actually going to take care of these animals? And do we have a plan in place for that? And do we have infrastructure? Yeah.
Do you have a freezer plan? Or,
that's covered. What doesn't fit in the freezer can be canned.
I came to the conclusion somewhere around last night that fuck it, I'm gonna like buy the equipment and do the whatever it takes to learn how to make sausage. It came up on my show.
Why are you coming to my spring workshop?
Oh God, I should just. I should.
Well, Self-Reliance Festival's in June.
Oh,
come out to that.
What's the June date for the Self-Reliance?
11 and 12, and we're doing processing pig the day before on the 10th on site in Camden, Tennessee.
Wow.
And I don't know if we'll do sausage, but we might do sausage.
Somebody there, you lived on the West Coast, so okay, tell all these East Coasters what it's like to live in a land where people don't understand sausages. It's like,
who doesn't understand sausages?
The West Coast.
The West Coast.
It's hamburger land. You can't find a fucking hot dog, like a real, like
a good one.
Yeah, there's like one hot dog stand in all of Seattle that lasts like 6 months before they close. And bagel shops, like.
Oh yeah, bagel shop. Well, we don't get those in Tennessee. Like, I don't really eat bagels anymore.
I don't eat bagels either, so it's like.
But I do know like a good New York bagel.
To go get a good old pastrami.
When I lived in Maryland, we could totally. By the way, hey, why don't we say who's on the show today?
Hi, I made it.
Hi, Neethi.
Neethi's here. John Bush is going to join us in a bit.
Oh, good. All right. Fill the boxes. Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, John Dowie's running late because he's snowed out. So I texted him that he needs to move to Tennessee.
I'll take prepping down the middle for 300, Jack.
In case you didn't notice, that's Brian.
Oh.
Brian Norton.
Brian, I hope you come to the Self-Reliance Fest because I'll be there too, and then we can meet.
Well, okay, so that's what we were talking about today. So that was kind of perfect all the way back around. The thing is, getting off the X, right? We kind of all are like, we've been like prepping, doing shit in the background. Maybe some of you guys just woke up and you're like, bah! Okay. Yeah. If you listen to Toolman Tim's interview with that chemical biological warfare specialist from 2 or 3 days ago about like actual practical things you can do if you get nuked, like, don't freak out. It's not as bad as you think, really. If you go listen to that show, it'll scare the shit out of you.
Unless the bomb hits your house, then that's kind of bad.
Yeah, it even has like when it happens, like you'll see through your arm to your bone, like if you're 20 miles away, you'll see that. So if you see that, that means you're going to live. That's pretty good.
Okay.
So
good to know.
That was the thing on like, don't freak the fuck out. Like, okay, pretty bad, but now you've got 30 minutes to do some stuff. So like those 30 minutes are critical. So anyway, go see that show.
Eat some mushrooms. Is mushrooms on there?
No, he's like a nuclear, radiological, biological. He like, how to decontaminate yourself.
Mushrooms will convert radioactive material into organic matter within 24 hours.
If you just don't let it into your house to begin with, you're like that. Well, that's the whole. So go watch that. He gives you the real nuts and bolts, like, because remember, they were trying to kill the other side. So like, when will the bomb, if a bomb goes off, when would it ever go off? Like exactly like, it's insane. So he was on our planning side on how to kill as many of them people as we could. So you get to hear it from the devil's side. Might as well listen to, both sides. So you realize you're on an X. Price of energy is what it is, right? It's about to become a lot of your percentage of your income. Food is about to become a giant percentage of your income. Getting stuff, getting building materials, getting stuff done. All the war is on. So now war economy, right? Anything to hide the financial collapse at all cost. I think executive orders got signed this morning on my little crypto recap. Actually, I didn't even do it this morning.
Oh yeah, I totally saw that.
So,
oh my gosh, look, it's John Bush.
Ta-da! It's John Bush, right? When we're going to talk about
what's
crypto.
Up, man?
How are you guys doing?
Excellent. I was just giving the quickie intro. So privacy coins diverged from the pattern over the last 24 hours, and privacy coins are gaining steam against Bitcoin, which is what the chart I look at every day. John, welcome to the we were just basically like, hey, welcome to everybody and all of you new folks who just kind of are waking up and are now like pissing yourself because we're in the middle of World War III.
Weren't we already since World War II? I think we were.
And that's kind of right. But until you're ready to
Started
see it,
already.
You won't see it, right? So, and really, I don't know. I think the war kind of went hot 2 or 3 years ago. I think we effed them with some currency stuff, and that got the biological stuff going. And now we're back to the real war because you gotta. But if people won't tune in, you got to keep cranking up the fear porn, right? Now we're up to literally nuclear war fear porn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not paying any attention to it.
Let's talk about what do we mean by getting off the X?
Yes.
What do we mean? Because that's
we
the title of this show.
mean like the X is ground zero where the bomb's coming and you have to go, or it's where people are getting shot and killed or whatever. So, get off, move. What are you doing? How are you pivoting? So somebody made a comment, something about like, oh, it's such a cool thing that you're working with food, Neethi, or hey, Nicole, it's so cool that you guys are doing coffee or whatever, because that's like so much more secure. I think everybody right now, we all have had to pivot in one way or another to deal with the chaos and the confusion that is being drummed up all the time by, that lie box that everybody's watching constantly.
Well, I made 2 critical infrastructure changes in the last week. So oil, it's clear they're going to be effing with oil. That's the direction it's going to go.
They are already effing with oil, right, John Bush?
Right. So
weren't they doing that a while ago?
So there's big arrows, right, pointing to the X. Like that is going to happen. We can feel any way we want. I don't care. So I have a 18-mile-a-gallon SUV that drives with my little trailer and me and shit around. As of Saturday coming up, I am going to have a 50-mile-a-gallon SUV that drives me and my little trailer and my little shit around, brand new, at almost no interest, right? So they're printing money, 27% more all year. I just took a loan out for almost no interest to grab a hard asset to take my driving costs down by 200%.
Wow.
And have no maintenance for the next 10 years. So
hybrid or what?
Yeah. So I get a hybrid Kia Niro. They're rated to tow 2,800 pounds. The SUV, front wheel drive. So now it means I can run down to float instead of spending, $1,600 on gas. I'm going to spend like $600.
That's a big difference.
John, say something because you were really quiet there for a second.
Oh well, I'm super excited to be driving a Tesla. It's all electric, and I got a lot of heat from people in the freedom community and the truth community, and they're like, Elon Musk is going to turn off your car, and you're going to die from EMF, and blah, blah, blah. And like, I just feel grateful to be exited entirely from the manipulation and Putin this and Biden banning import that.
See, I would have gone all electric.
What's that?
I would have gone all electric, right? But I want to go to float. I want to go to New Hampshire. I can't go 5,000 miles on all electric. So that's where I made the trade. the small deal with the devil. Around town, it'll run on the hybrid 99% of the time.
Yeah.
So, but
there's supercharger networks all across all the major highways, which are super groovy. So you can go on a road trip.
Awesome. I know.
Yeah.
My around town car will be all electric very quickly. I'm
Awesome.
already running a 3-cylinder,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat,
So I
neat.
think it's
Go
just
ahead.
important for folks to understand the trends, right? So there's a trend for central bank digital currencies. It's now more clear than ever that everything.
Will you talk about that, John? Because
manipulated.
I'm so out of the loop. I didn't see. I know that happened. What really happened? Tell us the real story.
With Biden's executive order.
Oh yeah, I just read that right before the show.
Yeah, bring us up to speed.
I mean, it seemed like a lot of fluff, really. There wasn't anything substantive, but they're going to bring together, they want to do like a holistic government policy, because before is like the IRS viewed one thing and the SEC's trying to do this, and it's just kind of all chaotic. So they want to have more of a comprehensive policy, and then they're going to study and I guess accelerate the path towards a central bank digital currency, which isn't necessarily blockchain. It's just digital money controlled by the central bank. And there's a chance that it'll still include commercial banks as an intermediary, but there's a chance that they cut the commercial banks out altogether and it's just you doing business directly with the man. But like you were saying, the privacy coins are absolutely critical. And, they're going to throw little hissy fits, and Senator Elizabeth Warren is like all whiny about crypto being used to evade sanctions, which probably isn't really happening that much. It's probably more like common Russian citizens using it to protect their wealth or to move money around. But I think that the cryptocurrency, the privacy coins, are really going to play a huge role in our lives. And that's why I've been telling a lot of people, like, it's important to just learn how to use it now. So whenever you actually have to use it in order to do business with free people outside of their purview, you're not stuck playing catch up.
That's what we were talking earlier. Nicole and I were talking. Nexus is one of the sponsors of Float. They're going to make me a banner for my coffee stand. So I'm going to take Nexus now that it's available on iPhone as a test app.
Cool.
So yeah, there's no harm in trying new stuff, right? I mean, what's the worst that will happen? I'll just trade it back into some US Tether coin, whatever, right?
Yeah, you can experiment and just get your feet wet a little bit. You don't even have to throw the whole bank at it. Just $100 here, $200 there. I like Bitcoin Cash because you can buy like $100 worth, and then you and your buddies can send $1 back, 50 cents back and forth with one another, just to kind of get used to actually using it. So I think that's really where things are headed. But of course, let us not forget local barter networks and trading seeds for eggs and coffee for this. And I think that's really where it's at in terms of in-person communities that we're building, which are most important. It's more, I mean, I love you guys, of course, but the people that I connect with on a day-to-day basis, and like Nicole, your guys that are there in the holler, and Niti, your friends that do your food co-op, and Brian's people up in the Pacific Northwest. That's really where the magic's at, and we need to have those networks and that face-to-face stuff. But when it comes to online commerce, which I don't want to stop doing, even if they set up their central bank digital currency thing, cryptocurrency, that's where that's going to be. So all these people are like, crypto's evil, and that's just part of the World Economic Forum's plan, and blah, 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 unsubstantiated nonsense. At the end of the day, if they want to keep doing online commerce, that's going to be our tool.
Oh,
Nani there, looking all cowgirl cute, Nicole.
I am cowgirl cute.
Yeehaw!
Nathan or Nicole, do you want to jump in? Or I have one thing too that came up that's new.
Go ahead, and we'll let Nisi go.
Okay, the LOTS project is getting closer to becoming a reality of a network of independent landholders. I know he's starting to work with Patty on the agreements. So I was going to buy more Bitcoin inside my IRA. I think I talked about it on my show a bit about moving it to the right trust account. We decided F it. More land. Since LOTS project's going to exist, and he's going to make the hip camp run on raw land that might not. So now we're changing our focus. We're not going to look for land where we want to put a structure later that might, think of all the requirements and how expensive that is getting if it's kind of quasi-legal or almost legal or legal to put a structure on. Super expensive, and everybody's chasing the same thing. The whole lots project thing about having all these lots around the country that are hip camps is so excellent. So if you get a lot anywhere that can just be campable, man, that opens up, and the dollar prices come down a lot. So we started looking by concert venues that we travel to every year instead of, what if we don't have to go get a Marriott? What if we just pull our own trailer with our 50-mile-a-gallon car now and camp on our own thing and sign it over from the second we buy it for, like, you can find lots for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, right?
Yeah, I know where you can get them in Tennessee for that rate. Right by the Self-Reliance Festival, in case you want to come out.
That's close enough, right? It's something that would have a draw all the time that might need camping spillover. So it'd be a great hip camp. I'm looking by anything that has like a big population, like by an amusement park or someplace people would use a hip camp a lot. And then stick it in the program, right? And as soon as we can get the lots program to have more lots, now I've got 50 places to just anywhere I'm rolling. There is a free place to stay that night because I'm in the ownership circle of owning one of the lots, so I can stay on any of the lots.
What is that, like an Airbnb for camping?
No, so it's hip camp, right? We are just gonna. Well, it's Brian's project. He's going to utilize the hip camp network, so you just get a lot that's campable, right, and chuck it into the pool. Now, any of the other owners can use any of the lots for a week, free. You just, coming down your way, I'm going to camp there for a night. And we're not talking like fancy camping, nothing. It's just gravel pad. You can get a truck and a trailer, 58 feet or whatever, off the road. Mm-hmm. Then you can get an acre, whatever. They could all be different, but enough to be a hip camp. But I want to do nothing. And if you buy land inside your IRA, you can't have a hands-on relationship with it. It has to be a for-profit enterprise. So if you just buy it with your IRA money from 3 jobs you flipped out, 18 jobs back, buy a little piece of land, chuck it in, sign the management contract. He makes the hip camp ad, runs the ad, takes the calls from the lost people at the middle of the night that can't find the drive, like manages it, right? All you get is checks at the end of the quarter. Like to you or to your IRA. We're anticipating it's great. Since I'm not an investor, I can say shit and he can't get in trouble. I'm anticipating as an owner who's going to throw my land into the pool, that I'll pay my property taxes in whatever bumfuck county there is on some raw, unbuildable camping land with the hip camp revenue, right? So it maybe cash flow is positive, maybe it doesn't, but it's land, it's real estate, you depreciate it, all kinds of tax games you can play. So anyway,
that's pretty clever.
If you're looking to get off the X, right? And what if your city becomes hot for some reason, for something that maybe getting the F out is the thing? Well, he and her took off last year to come to Squatch in their camper because they wanted to try it just to play like, let's pretend we got to go. And they found out all of this empty DNR land and stuff across the country is now full of people and campers and really nasty dogs that'll like kill you, like Rottweiler. Like it's free for all land. It's anarchy camping. So you can, that is out there. That is, and things aren't bad. So now this is a private network of private land that can be posted, no trespassing. You're an owner and you have 50 places to go. So
pretty clever.
Anyway. Yeah.
What are you doing to get off the X? What do you think of when you hear about getting off the X?
We're actually looking for land right now too. And
to exit and build.
Yeah, we're going to exit and build. We're actually going to build the food church and create Well, you know, what's been happening is people have been asking me if they can come and immerse themselves and learn how to live a regenerative lifestyle. And so, you know, my husband and I have decided that we're going to look for agritourism land.
Yeah.
And because if there is, I mean, we actually know of a few places that we're looking that we think, you know, a lot of those old timers are aging out, and their kids are just simply not interested. So, you know, it's perfect for us to be able to do something like that. And then we can connect with your friends, Brian, and some of these other folks, you know, because, but I also have a whole lot of friends who want to exit and build who we may want to partner with. So, you know, we're more interested in building a village or something of that nature for artists to be able to also show their stuff off, who are interested in using the food church as a hub. So that's all I can really say about that right now. But I mean, besides that, I had to get off the X since this whole nightmare started in 2019 when they decided to have the nerve to try to starve out America or whatever they're trying to do. And so I've had to pivot and move, you know, a few times. I don't know. I just feel like we can't get caught up. To me, when you're saying get off the X, you
Hey,
can't
mentally, that's what you did. That's
Yeah,
a giant thing for people to know. Be ready to
Yes.
like.
You can't get so upset about it, or so. I mean, I could have been thinking like, how dare they threaten my home and blah blah blah, and I could be mad and I could be trying to fight the city and all kinds of craziness. But I'm not going to stand up against the mob, guys. I'm just really not. Like, I'm just going to do something else, and I'm not going to allow the mob to be risen against my home and threaten my home. Like, that is not the way. So.
Right.
You know, what is the way? The way is that when they want to make you nervous, when they want to tell you that you're not allowed to do something, when they want to make you feel, I mean, in this red hot moment, as far as I know, this is still America. As far as I know, I still have my Constitution. I can still do whatever I want, and I'm going to just keep operating in that. I can't allow myself to fall into, you know, like I have a lot of folks that are saying, well, you know, fiat's going to, you know, fall apart. You can't get a mortgage. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I'm like, well, guess what? Everybody else who's out there running a business and who might have a mortgage and who might have whatever, like, you know, John with his electric car, if all of that is going on, they're still gonna have to do something with all of us at some point. We're gonna have an opportunity to make it better. I can't operate in the what ifs and all of that garbage. So we're just gonna go. What have I been doing? I've been growing. I got a new CSA manager so I can travel. Because if I'm gonna be pushed out of my home, if I'm gonna be in commercial space, then I need people. So I'm creating jobs over here. That's me pivoting. I'm working on growing, and I'm not going to stop. So that's what's going on.
Well, we've replaced a John with a John. So John Bush's computer froze up, and he'll hopefully be back. I just texted him. And John Dowie has made it through the blizzard because he lives in a state that gets white devil dust. That's right. Now we're going to get a strike against us on YouTube, white devil dust. And he had a hard time getting to his studio.
Oh, you can probably say cocaine,
about,
just not that.
We're talking about. Say hi to everybody. First of all, say hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, John Dowie.
Right. So we're talking about what we're thinking of when we think about this topic of getting off the X. Yeah. I'm going to go next so you can think about it.
Yeah. Roll, Nicole.
Okay. When I think about getting off the X, I take a little bit different track. Like, not just how am I getting off the X, but why are people worried about being on the X? And since this whole Ukraine-Russia thing started, a lot of people said, oh shit, World War III is starting. We're all going to die. Like, that has happened. And the reactions have been, how do I afford spiraling gas prices, which inflation was going to happen no matter what, right? It's just, this is, in fact, some of the inflation in the fuel industry is not Ukraine and Russia. It was going to happen anyway. We're just blaming it. Yep. It's a convenient thing to blame so that politicians can get reelected to the best of their ability, right? The second thing is oh my God, I wanted to start my business, but I need the security of my paycheck. And another thing is maybe I should just sell everything I own and go live in the woods like a hermit. And another thing, so it's a lot of fear and people stocking up on fuel and foods they don't eat and so when I think about getting off the X, I think let go of the fear. How do you add stability to your life? If you are letting this be an excuse to start your business that you've been wanting to start your damn business. If you can start a business successfully right now, your business is going to explode. And if it's not going to be successful, which will be obvious once you start it, you can pivot, right, John Dowie? You can pivot to something else. And that's the thing. We don't know what the environment will be. Before we started this live stream, I was just talking to Brian about coffee prices and what's happening there. And if imports stop, like he and I are both totally screwed. We have the coffee we have, and we have access to the coffee in the warehouses that are in storage. And if ships don't run, we're fucked. That's basically it. But if that happens, we have the skills of running a business. I know how to ship things. I know how to produce things. I know how to fulfill my promises, and I can shift focus to the sheep that are coming into my property next. And there'll probably be a need for that. And you know what sheep eat? Grass. You know what grows in Tennessee really well? Grass, right? So, John, what do you think of when you hear get off the X?
Well, sorry. I'm so not prepared. I am, though. I'm mentally prepared.
It's good to admit that up front.
I didn't write anything down.
Okay, you want me to give you 2 more and give you a minute to think?
I'm actually no. That was fine.
Let him freeform. It's always hilarious when
you want to know.
Come on.
You want to know what you want to know what the environment is? That's the fucking environment right there.
Look at it's beautiful.
You got UFOs and snow.
It's not coming up though. Oh, I know what I'm doing here. Hold on. Let me make this so I know this is good pod, but man, let me make it so you can actually see everything. Yeah, here's a picture of my backyard before I left the house today. This was not supposed to happen. This was supposed to be 35 and rain, but it turned into this shit mess snowstorm. Anyway,
you could live in Tennessee and it would be 70 degrees out right now. Just saying.
You know, my hang up with Tennessee now, because I give this a lot of thought.
There's a new one.
I give it a lot of thought. Is back to I've said for years. People go, how do you live in the Northeast with all the snow? And I go, well, I don't get hurricanes or earthquakes. None of my shit tries to fucking randomly blow away, and the whole town doesn't get destroyed by a fucking tornado. So that never happens up here. All I got to do is move some snow around, So that's my thing. And you randomly get tornadoes in Tennessee. So now I'm very I don't know.
Just build a dome home. Don't build your house in Tornado Alley, man.
Well, what's that mean, though? Can't there be a tornado anywhere? And
the flatter parts of the state tend to get tornadoes. The hilly parts of the state, less.
I don't want to live in the mountains, though, so I'm not a mountain guy. You ever seen me? I'm not.
If only there was a way you could come to the holler and check out the middle ground.
There is, and that's going to happen. We're already talking about coming to, maybe, if the tickets are still available, the Freedom Fest. But anyway, or is that what it was called? No, Self-Reliance.
Self-Reliance Festival, baby.
So.
But Self-Reliance is not in the holler.
No, but he drives past the holler to get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have a rape van. I'll sleep in that.
So
it's
always helpful to have a rape van.
I'm still trying to make it to the holler. I never get to the holler. I go to all around the holler.
So then for people who are just now waking up.
Well, okay.
What can we tell them to do? Because, all of us here basically run our own thing.
Yeah.
But we do that because we already knew.
Oh my God!
I can relate to the panic though, because I'm freaking the fuck out right now, honestly, because I'm looking at, okay, wheat's up 60%. I have 140 birds to feed. Last year, feed went up 60% already. I'm already losing my ass on eggs and whatever. Now it's going to get worse, and you can't raise the prices because people won't have any money because they're paying $8 a fucking gallon.
Yes, they will,
gas.
John.
So
that's not true.
I don't know.
True,
once the UBI gets,
you're probably right.
John,
you're probably
people
right.
are going to eat, and they're going to figure out a way. And so I will have to say no. People will rape, pillage, and steal, and do whatever they got to do to be able to eat. And so they're going to have the money for the food.
I hope
Because
so.
no, they will. They will have the money. Somebody's going to have the money for the food. And you don't have to feed millions and billions of people. You know, come on.
My issue is anyway. It's just I'm concerned.
Don't get lost in that anyway.
I sell to restaurants. I don't see restaurants thriving in this economy.
They're not gonna. Yeah, you got to get out of that.
Yeah, and I've already kind of
reliant with the feed.
Yeah, I've already kind of pivoted off the X with my other side hustle, but it's not enough, and I don't know. I'm a little worried, but anyway.
And saw what is critical to your op that could go wrong, and you started taking adjustments. That's also key.
Well,
right?
and I will, and it's like I did my show with Drew Sample on Sunday, and it's more, shit's gonna happen. What are we doing about it, right? So what am I doing about it? I already have 150 gallons of gas put up. That's good. I have a great generator in case there's power issues. I just bought 2 new chest freezers yesterday. They're going to be here Saturday because I'm getting ahead of the fucking chest freezer shortage we're definitely going to face again. Because, we saw that in COVID, right? So learn from COVID. I never would have thought there'd be a chest freezer shortage, 3 years ago. And then there was. So I bought one right before that last time. And I said, you know what? I need more freezer space. I have a lot of freezer space now, but I'm a type 1 diabetic. I can't live on rice and beans. If I eat rice and beans in a fucked up scenario, it actually accelerates my death because I run out of insulin faster. So I need to store meat and I need to store broccoli, basically. So that shit needs to be frozen. So 2 freezers are on the way. I lined up a pig yesterday. So I'm going to get a half a pig. That's something I've never done. I've always just bought half beef and stuff. So one of my concerns is definitely higher feed costs and my property. I can't really produce my own feed, and I was going to raise my own chickens this year, but maybe I won't do that because, if feed is going to go up inevitably again, raising meat birds doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's still probably cheaper at the store. And I know it's not as high quality, but it is what it is. Anyway, I walked into my office today I have like a specific level of rage right now, actually, that I know probably is incompatible with you for because I'm actually fucking angry about this whole situation because us folks that busted our ass through COVID to get to this point. Okay. And for me, it's like last week is my first week of looking at profits and it happened like restaurants ordered a lot of shit. And I sold a lot of barrels, and I'm looking at profits now for the first time in about 2 years. And now they're going to fuck us because they needed to use Ukraine for the last 20 years to launder their fucking money or whatever they're doing there. And essentially are going to cause a war because they're assholes. And these are people that Americans have elected over the last however many decades. And frankly, like any American that's mad about this, I'm like, hey, fuck you. Go look in the mirror and I'll show you who's to blame. Because it's us. It's our fault that this is all going on. So anyway, that's my level of rage. I'm really annoyed. And I just am like, it takes people to fight wars, right? What if the oligarchs want to fight a war and none of the fucking people show up? That's my theory right now. How do we get that word out? That if this ends up being a bigger war, how about no one fucking shows up for the war? Right? I mean, if you want to run a business and none of your employees show up, you're not running a business. So I know that's a little off topic of getting off the X, but
I don't know that segues beautifully into John Bush because he's like literally launching an event tomorrow that helps people learn how to get off the X. So John, talk to us about like that and what's happening and how people can get involved if your camera is working.
Well,
I will be more constructive.
You can hear me, right?
John,
John Bush. We can hear you, John.
Yep, go.
Okay, all right. I got a new computer and I'm having some issues with the damn camera freezing. But anyway, so, there's all sorts of things we can do to get off the X. Honestly, when I first heard that, I was like, get off the X. So you guys been bent out on rave parties or something? Like, geez, what's happened to the Goose Group since the last time I was on?
Well, Brian Norton is here.
The covert mission is to ban Xavier.
I knew there was a whiskey problem, but not MDMA. What's going on here?
Who would do that?
So tomorrow or Friday, it depends on how much I'm able to get done. Tomorrow or Friday, which I guess would be the 10th or the 11th of March, depending on when you're listening, we should be launching the Exit and Build Land Summit 2 page for folks to purchase tickets. Of course, it's free as well if you want to register and watch day 1 and 2, or people will be able to purchase tickets to watch it online and participate in day 1, 2, and 3 and get the replays and be able to ask questions. Or if you're really cool, you can drive or fly down here to Bastrop, Texas, good old Bastrop, Texas, where we rented out the Bastrop Convention Center. So we're hoping to have an event with over 500 people. Actually, I think 500 is going to be the cap. So we're going to sell all 500 tickets. Very certain of that. There's going to be farm-to-table meals. There's going to be all sorts of great speakers. Like we
Are
got.
you serving Huller roast?
We better. Let's do it. Nicole's coming. Jack's coming. We got Joel Salatin again. I booked Joel Skousen, who does strategic relocation.
Oh,
that's
he's
super
great.
busy. We got Stephen Brooks, who does this Punta Mona intentional community down in South America, I think Costa Rica. And so really it's just all about leaving the cities, building community in the country, getting off the grid, becoming more self-reliant. And there's a huge community focus because there's all these disparate areas that we can choose to get off the X. But really, I think what makes it more manageable and accomplishable as far as living a good life in spite of all the turbulence around us is having a strong community. Because if there's areas that we're lacking or that we're lacking knowledge or lacking resources, that can be made up by working with other human beings and providing value to other human beings. So we're really hoping to educate and inspire and empower people. I'll go ahead and say the URL. Right now, you'll go to the last summit, exitandbuildlandsummit.com, exitandbuildlandsummit.com. If you go there now, you'll get to the first one, but you can purchase tickets to the first one and get a replay of the first one. But I encourage you to just wait a day or two and check us out.
Come to the next one.
What's that?
And come to the next one.
And come to the next one, May 13th through the 15th. It's coming up in a couple months. So we're going to be doing a blitzkrieg of promotion and hope a lot of people will turn out. There's a lot of people that went to the first one, and then now they're like, I bought land, and we have an intentional community, and a duck farm, and goat farm, and it was really inspiring for people to participate. So we hope more folks will participate this time around.
Yeah, I had the good fortune of speaking at and hanging out with the people at the one that you did in November, and I think you were a little surprised I showed up in person, but I was going to Jack's right after that, and you weren't far from Jack's, so I thought, well, hell, I'll just go a week early. I much prefer presenting in front of people versus talking to a microphone by myself in a room and a camera.
All our speakers are in person for this one.
It's a thing. And I was impressed with the caliber of people there. What I loved about that summit was you had people who'd already exited and you had people who didn't know how to exit, and you brought them together. And that's why these in-person events are so important to do, even for people who are hesitant to be around people, because I see a lot of chatter in the Freedom Cells about I'm a little scared to meet everybody in person. And there's one part introvert in some of that. There's one part I don't know if I'm going to like you. The only way you know is to go.
That's right.
Yep.
We're a likable bunch. We'll be serving kratom too for those of you that are the introverts. It definitely helps with the anxiety. Yeah. We'd love for you to serve some coffee. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
And mellow.
Handbasket, but it doesn't have to for us. And I would challenge everyone to yourself where what's happening outside of you has less of an impact on your quality of life and your standard of living. And we can all do it. In fact, many people, I made more money than ever the year of the lockdown. And then the following year made more money than ever also. And I'm subjected to the same circumstances, but I deal with life in a different way. And I think everybody has that capability. And really it starts with stepping outside of victimhood and becoming an empowered person and taking responsibility for everything, whether it's someone else that does something, you take responsibility for how you attracted them to you, or how you didn't set a boundary before, or whatever. And so I think that's a message that we really need to focus on in these crazy, trying times.
Yeah. Well, I think what's cool about this topic is there are people listening right now who are slaves to their debt, slaves to their family commitments, slaves to their location choices, all of those things. And the way you get out of being a slave to all of those things is you choose it. And I say that all the time on my podcast. We talk about it all the time here. It really is that simple. When you decide, I am done with this and I'm going to build the stability I can, you start taking one step at a time. It doesn't happen overnight. And that's, I think, the part that people have a hard time getting over is, okay, I don't want to be slave to this. Well, what in your life can you already stop having it rule you? And every time you're telling somebody, I can't do this or I can't go there because of this other thing, change your language pattern to, I won't go there, because you can blow off something to do something else. You're prioritizing something. And when you start assessing things that way, I think you end up making better choices for yourself and making better choices for your life. I had a big issue with my dogs and my neighbor's dogs. I had an injured dog and everybody attacked the injured dog. We had a big old dog fight. She got hurt more. And that had never happened before, right? Because you always hear people say that when dogs bite. And I realized right away, if I'm teaching self-responsibility or personal responsibility, I have to take responsibility for this. Luckily, I have the holler neighbors who are all willing to also. We went to a dog trainer, best in the state, happens to live 20 minutes from me, like badass, man, and did a session. And in that session, here's a dog trainer who's made money winning shows with his dogs. He's helping people train dogs he's not charging enough. I'll just put it out there. And he does that on purpose because he wants more people to have their dogs trained well. Well, he told us leadership is the core issue here. And to have good leadership, you have to take control of your shit. He said 5 years ago, I just lost my clutch on my car. 5 years ago, had that happened, I would have been screwed because I would have not known where I could get the $1,000 to pay the guy to fix it. This time, because I've taken control, I've taken leadership of my own life. Now I have an emergency fund, and I sat there on the side of the road and was like, well, that's inconvenient. Called a friend, picked me up, sent my car off to get it fixed. And it's because he made the choice to take control of his finances. Yeah. And 5 years later, right? It didn't happen overnight. He had it. And I think that's the thing about getting off the X that's important. You can go to these events like Exit and Build or the Self-Reliance Festival or any of the workshops, Squatch Fest that'll happen. Nefi's going to have food church trainings. By the way, I'm free on October 15th, Nefi. That just happened.
Yay!
Yep.
By the way, that is so big. Daniel Soliton's going to be here. It's going to be
awesome.
Fantastic. Everybody will be able to hear how we're working with Polyfaith and how big farms are helping us grow small farms. So, awesome. and to reiterate what Nicole's talking about, I'm saying this all the time. Nothing's happening to you. Nothing's happening to you. John Dowie, nothing's happening to you either. And nobody's coming for you. And in fact, nobody's coming to even come turn off your lie box so that you don't listen to those lies anymore. And also, nobody's coming to take those Doritos out of your hand or the fake crap that you're putting in your mouth, in your mouth hole that's making you,
The nice thing is all that shit's going to get expensive.
John.
Is that Kool-Aid? What is that?
It's it's one of those fucking Mio squeezy things. Whatever that is.
He's always bringing the example of what to
Red 40.
It helps me get the right amount of water in me every day. That's all I know.
He's like, give me a fucking break, you fucking assholes.
Wow, you do a good John Dowie impersonation, dude.
Pretty good. Yeah. Look, I can't fucking eat anything but steak and broccoli in my life. I gotta have something. All right.
There you go.
But dude, I'm gonna be raising sheep soon. You can have sheep. You can have lamb, right?
Oh,
I have 0.7 acres. Oh, you mean like eat it? Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Actually, I never really ate much of that kind of lamb and sheep or whatever.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
My life growing up was two things. My mom didn't like anything weird, and we were fucking Seventh-day Adventists, which is the worst
vegetarian
fucking religious. No, we weren't like.
You weren't those ones?
We weren't the vegetarian ones. We were the no pork, no shellfish,
no pork.
Annoying. Yeah. Oh. So,
dude, I hope you're having some bacon now.
Killing me.
Oh my God, yeah. Now I eat.
You're like,
Whatever.
what? We didn't have any bacon all these years?
It took me till I was 20
Then
though
cool
to learn
bag.
I was allergic to shrimp. So there's that.
Oh. Well, are you sure you're allergic to the shrimp or the stuff they dip it in? Because like,
No, it was
I-
it was straight up shrimp. It was
okay, word.
boiled. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Maybe they dipped it in the ocean. Maybe I'm allergic
Okay.
to something there.
You know what? Okay. Here's something.
okay.
If somebody is on the fence and they're kind of really overweight, and you know in your heart of hearts you are effing way overweight, and you've been kicking it around like you're gonna do it, like I was gonna quit smoking for 10 years, the price of food is about to like literally triple.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
gonna
you
fix everything
have
right
a
now.
high
actually.
metabolic rate and
Yeah.
you have to eat 5 times a day because you are just a woofer, admit it to yourself. Seriously, just do it and
Mhm.
just stop. Like, go watch a Dr. Ken Berry thing. One of our big friends who's so big he's had like
He's gonna be at
had
the
to
same
spend
church.
$50,000 to put a bathroom in his basement so he could have his knee surgery because he couldn't go up his own stairs. So he literally spent $50,000 to get new knees over losing the weight. And death is next. That's the next step. So I had the hard conversation with him yesterday, live and in person, because I'm his friend, about like, dude, you know you're choosing this, right? Like, I literally eat once a fucking day. I do. I lost 100
own it.
pounds. I have
Yeah.
more energy than I've ever had. And like, what if? Because he's like, well, I'm diabetic. I'm taking. I'm like, what if? What if? So I got him to at least watch the Dr. Berry video. At least watch it and then say it's full of shit.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And
There's a
just do your thing.
documentary that Ken Berry has out about curing diabetes, like
Type-
with
type
the diet change.
voluntary diabetes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Yeah, John,
Well,
you're
you can
you're
actually
fucked. We
turn
know,
around-
but
If
you
you
know,
eat-
other people type 2.
It shouldn't
literally
even be called
eating that much
Type one,
food.
if you
The
catch
price-
it.
Voluntary
If
diabetes.
you
is
still have a
going up.
pancreas,
So we are talking about what to do because of right now. They are telegraphing. They're telling you
Yeah.
food is about to triple. If you
Yeah.
eat a shit ton of food, just imagine if you ate once a day instead of 3 times a day, how much I don't give a fuck what the price of food is.
Yeah.
I got
so
my
here's
beef back.
something
I mean, that's a
related
weird
to
one.
that.
I can-
went keto. Everybody knows a few years ago, and I'm mostly keto except for this glass of bourbon right here. And
That's keto.
it's totally keto. And
It's
I
mostly
went,
keto.
I
Toledo.
went off keto treats, just like vegetables and meat is what I eat most of the time, and not starchy ones. And I don't eat fake stuff. If I eat chocolate, it's gonna be chocolate. If I have bourbon, it's gonna be bourbon.
Yeah.
And I lost weight, and I continue to lose weight. But here's the deal: the amount of money I spent on food went down.
Yep.
It went down, and I was like, Mom,
And you can buy
I'm
the highest
buying the most
quality.
expensive
Yeah.
meat I can. I mean,
So
I
bad.
buy a whole cow, and
Yeah.
so it's $3.50 to $4.50 a pound when I buy it,
Wow.
which I know is a good price.
It's a great price.
But even
I'll-
if it was double
But
that,
she's
I'd be
buying, like,
spending
whole-
less. And I raise my
Yeah.
own understand, I raise my own
Yeah.
animals, so that helps keep the cost down.
Right.
But she said, well, you don't need as much volume anymore.
Right.
That's the deal.
Because
You don't
nutrients
need as
and
much
meat
volume, and
don't
I
need
just stop
that
eating
much.
when I'm not hungry.
Yeah. That was
Right.
what I 100% found that. I mean, I eat about, I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm fucking 265 pounds and 6'3", and I like work all day. I have heavy cream in my coffee in the morning, about a half, about a quarter cup, half a fucking cup, about a quarter cup. And then I don't eat all day. And then at night I have like a 10-ounce steak and like a cup of broccoli, and I make some cheese sauce for that, because why not? And it's outstanding. That is not expensive.
No.
You know, my wife eats about half that because she's, 130 pounds. She's half my weight, so it makes sense. My kid is on a formula diet that we make as formula, but it's crazy. Oh, he walked 2 days ago, by the way.
The 2-pound bags of
Oh, your
shrimp
kid
at the
walked.
store.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Oh, he walked. Oh, yeah.
Hang on, I got a video if you want to see it.
Nice.
Uh-oh, there's another
I don't
Dowie
know
on
if I
patrol.
oh no, I had screen shared it on my other show. You can watch the micro farmers on my YouTube channel, and the very first thing I do is play the video. So he looked like he was going to walk, and we got the phones out, and we actually recorded his first steps. So that was cool.
Oh wow.
And he's 8.5 months, so
Nice.
All right.
pretty early, I think.
Congratulations.
Hey, I got to run, guys. Thanks
Uh-oh.
for
Okay, John.
It was good.
One more
Thanks
pit
for having
from
me.
your thing. Give us one more
Anybody?
pit.
exit and build land. Did you say one more plug?
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. All right. Check us out.
Tomorrow or the next day.
May
Spend
13th,
money.
15th. Check it out tomorrow, the 10th of March or the 11th, and we should have the tickets live. And I very much hope you'll join us in person. Joel Salatin, Jack Spirko, Joel Skousen, Stephen Brooks, and like 24 others.
And Nicole Sauce.
Last but not least. So check us out. It'll be a great time here in Bastrop. And we're going to do a screening. We're going to have farm-to-table meals. We're going to teach about growing food, buying land together, and doing an intentional community, and all that stuff. And I promise the camera won't freeze.
That's a massive lineup.
That's
Nice.
right. Not messing around. All right, you guys stay free. Lay off the X, guys. It's not good for your brain.
Yeah.
All
I'm just gonna get all the fucking
I
ways
do
out.
think this moving off the X takes discipline by John, by the way, takes discipline of
Courage.
not engaging in crisis cycle.
Right.
Well, can I speak to that?
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
the
go.
first that's the thing is like when these things happen, when COVID started, same shit. I'll put the regular news on because I'm trying to figure out just the big picture of what the hell's happening, right? And then after about 3 hours of that shit, it's just you realize that you've got the tiny bit of information you can extract from that fucking propaganda network, and then it's all bullshit, right?
Right.
So that's your step one. For getting off the fucking X is disconnecting from that shit, I think. And I think I'm preaching to the choir with this audience probably, but then the next step is you do have to try to stay a little informed, I guess. I mean, I went a while without staying informed at all. And then you got to find your sources, right? And try to figure that out, because you do have to kind of understand, like if I was paying no attention, I wouldn't know wheat went up 68% in a day. And that does affect my life,
Well, you would know from your feed guy, right? No.
No, I learned that from
the
it might have been
news.
a fucking No Agenda show or something. I don't even know.
Oh.
You
it might have
can
been
look
the
into
Asian
the
dude.
the fodder tree systems that
Yeah.
Fergie does, because he's figured out how to ferment it
Right.
by making it silage so the birds will eat it.
My
I mean,
yeah,
we knew several years ago, John, that we needed to control our processing and our feed. And so that was what we've been paying attention to, from a long time ago. And so, and it's never too late for you to just jump on that.
Yeah, I have one big challenge with controlling my feed, or producing my feed, at least.
Well, I'm saying in relationships.
No.
Having the relationships for that, because whatever we're doing, it's not going to be on the news. We're going to find out from our friend.
Well, that is something as far as feed goes. I'm exploring options. Like right now, the obstacle for me is freight is so expensive. Like I think there's definitely a better option for me for feed right now if I could get it trucked in and store enough of it. But the freight is astronomical too. So
road trip.
Yeah,
I guess I got
the
a little
freight,
Dakota
the freight
and a
is
trailer.
never working. Like we had to let all that go, because if you're going to be doing volume, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess it depends.
I use about a pallet every 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Of feed.
Yeah. So you need a friend.
I need less birds.
Okay, that solves
That's
two problems.
also.
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. I have egg layer ducks and I have old ducks. Which ones do you kill? They both suck to eat. Like, what are you gonna do?
Actually, old ducks make great duck stew.
But they're like, I've had old ducks die and I've processed them, and there's barely any meat on these ducks because I buy specific.
Yeah.
I buy the golden 300s.
But
from
they make
Metzer.
a good broth.
Yeah. Okay.
If you can sell stew.
They really do.
When they get old, they're like pets. So anyway, on our farm.
You mean
So-
like my pig? My mama pig is like a pet. We have a problem there too.
Yeah.
We got into ducks because we liked it.
That
and then it
becomes
kinda turned
hog
into
feed.
stuff. Yeah.
Those pets can be hog feed.
There's that. I don't have any. I have 0.7 acres. So producing my own feed is a tough. I've tried,
No,
but
but
it's
we
not-
don't produce all our own feed, Dowie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's friends, man. It's the relationships. We got friends who want to produce feed for us. So it's about that, right? Like,
Yeah, and I should maybe be better at
find a
networking.
friend.
Yeah, so
Find a
I
friend.
got off the X once by turning to the barrels, and that's something I'm turning to again because
Tell us
I'm
that
trying to get
story.
ahead.
Like, tell us the whole story.
I'll
were
make it short. I've done
providing
it here before.
microgreens for
Yeah.
restaurants right before March 2020.
Yeah, so the first week of March 2020, we did the best first week of March we've ever done, which is impressive because that's a good week.
Nice.
Basically, we go through a slow period, January, February. It's horrific. And then March, the first week of March, people in New England start going to restaurants again or something, and it just blows up. So it did. And then, of course,
Come out of hibernation.
the next week, and then the following week, they shut all our customers down. So, we spent about 4 weeks freaking out because there was no grants or loans or anything available yet. And they just weren't available to small farms because, they like to give all the
'Cause
money
you
to
don't
big
need
ass
help.
conglomerates. Yeah.
No.
So I was going to grow lettuce to sell to my home delivery customers, and I was pushing home delivery, and that was moderately successful. But it wasn't enough to keep us going. So I found these IBC totes to grow lettuce in, and the guy had a shitload of barrels on his property, and he was like, you want to sell these things? And I was like, I'll do anything right now. So he dropped off. We weren't home. We went and bought some groceries or something, and we came home to about 400 barrels on the front yard. So that was fun. Then my wife was like, what the fuck is going on? So she's cool about stuff, but she was a little shocked. And then, so I spent about 18 hours being really annoyed about that. And then I organized it, sorted it out. And Thursday night, I listed everything on the Censor Book Marketplace. And probably the next day, I threw it up on Craigslist. And by Tuesday, the following week, I called them for more. So it was pretty crazy. And we found more, we've had our challenges. I've had some local situations where somebody kind of poached our source locally and is cutting our price in half. But, we have enough variety where we're still doing business. And now I'm pushing more of a business to business model because if people run out of money, some of these businesses still are doing stuff. So I'm just trying to diversify my customer base with that part of my business. And actually we're registering that business as a real business now, which I know is kind of counter to being agorist, but it's not because it'll allow me some tax benefits. So there's that. So it's been good. It's been successful, but hopefully it holds up. We have to get up the X in another way. I mean, the way we're getting up the X right now is we're just expanding our preps quite a bit while we can, because like if you see the storm coming, you get ready for it, right?
Right.
So right now, a bag of broccoli, frozen broccoli, is $1.20 for a pound, right? And in 3 weeks, it might be $4.50. So I'm gonna go put 100 pounds up or something like that. And like I said, freezers while you can and that kind of stuff. And fuel, like you missed your opportunity there, right? But I'm selling barrels right now. This is what blows my mind about Americans, right? And I know I said some shit about people that voted and look in the mirror, but like, I'm not talking to these folks probably listening to this show. But what blows my mind is every time there's a shortage, that's when people want to stock up on it. So I've sold like 15 barrels the last 3 days because people are going to go buy gas or diesel. And I'm like, maybe you should have done that a week and a half ago. Like, what are you thinking? So, and I did that. Like I topped off.
It's never too late to start.
You can take advantage of this lunacy, though. I guess is what I'm getting at. Like
selling at the top of the market, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
So-
I raised my price on those barrels because you're gonna pay this fucking stupid tax.
Okay, so
But
guess
John,
what I
you
put
can't-
on? Guess what I put on sale on Craigslist last night?
What's up?
My little 4x8 teardrop travel trailer. I bought it for $2,000. I used it to go to float. I used it a few other times. Used it for squatch. Used it a couple other times. Guess how much I listed it for?
$1 million.
$5,000.
I'm just kidding.
45.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
up. Ask for
So,
6.
right. So you have 45. So 250%, right? They can beat me down, sell it for 3. I make 50%.
I did that with a
And I
Chevy
use it for a
Impala
year.
like 3 months
So the
ago.
Craigslist ad, right, is talking about, hey, if you got to get the hell out of Dodge, here's a way.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
am I going to get $2,500 for one sentence in a Craigslist ad? Because I just stopped, didn't freak, thought about what I had, where, and I'm selling it as is, where is in the field over at my farm. So I don't even have to drive an hour to go get it and bring it back.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I listed my utility trailer, my 5x10 that's old and beat up and whatever, right? For same thing, double what I paid for it. If somebody is it because I was like, hey, this will haul a lot of stuff over the mountain pass, right? I'm just waiting for the phone to ring and collect the money now. So our little sit down was, hey, she gets crazy because gotta make sure she's in the house. I don't see any of our stuff as actual stuff with like an attachment to the stuff anymore. It's
Right.
all just floating
Liquid cash.
dollar signs, right? Yeah, just whatever, just
It's
a
just
floating
liquid cash.
value. So
Yeah.
I was like, because she was like, Jesus Christ, our trailer, we love that trailer. I was like, yeah, I love the trailer, but you know, do you love it? Like, would you buy it for $4,000 right this minute if you had to like literally go get the money out of the safe? No.
No.
Like, okay, so that means sell it.
Sell it.
I'll build us a one that's interchangeable on a new flatbed that we could do in a system that I've been working on for a while for like a tenth the money.
So let's
Brian, that
let's
is
float on this stupid tax concept.
Yes,
What?
stupid tax. I love it.
Stupid
Nicole
tax.
has a way to bring
What
it home.
sorts of things in our lives, now that people are willing to pay the stupid tax because they're freaking out, it goes back to how could I profit from this?
Yeah.
Right.
What
If
sorts
you
of
wanna sell
things
ammo.
would make sense to start getting into? Because people are spending money hand over fist right now.
How
Right.
about
So, it's like,
go ahead, Nitty.
Yeah, what do you got?
no, I mean, all these things that you guys are talking about, you know, like everything that's going on. I was saying that, you know, we can't operate in this fear. And anybody right now who's going to not freak out, like Brian says, and like just operate in faith and just know that the well-being is everywhere, because that is what's true. If you're operating from that only, you know, then what we know for sure is there's nothing, like Brian said, that we can't move, and everything we have is way more valuable than it was before, because we already I knew this was going to happen before. I just didn't know they were going to do it in the way that they did. You don't know, like, in what way they're going to collapse the centralized systems and in what way they're going to do these weirdo things that they do. But I wrote about it in my book. I'm like, y'all, this is what's about to happen. So, you know, don't be shocked. There was nothing shocking about it. And so, you know, like Brian's saying, like, there's nothing. John, I bet you got more stuff that you want to sell than the things.
Yeah, what's next? What's the next
Yeah.
opportunity? What are
Yeah,
you
that's,
gonna sell?
Well, that's the thing. People are gonna, and almost anybody can do this, right? People are gonna want to grow their own food now, right? Obviously,
Right.
this already happened once
Classes.
here.
The
Yeah,
education.
This already happened during COVID. So
Oh,
Right.
I was just using that, not using, but like I took advantage of that situation
the
to
market
build
exists.
social capital on my street because I had all this extra soil and I just gave it to them. But like,
Right.
you know, I have soil, I sell it now. So there's
Right.
that. I have barrels, they can be turned into garden beds.
Correct.
I have IBC totes that can be turned
Raised
into
beds,
Yeah, and I can start
Potato beds.
seed
We
packets.
You know, maybe I should go buy some lumber right now to
Yeah.
make into some
Or
other
make
shit
it
before
on
it
your-
goes way up.
Right. Like,
You know?
that's what we're talking about. It's the pivot. It's the get off
Yeah.
the X. It's what's the new idea.
And
This
as,
is the moment for all these new ideas that we already know, and we have the innovation and the experience to be able to share. And so, you know, it's not like, I mean, you don't need to call it the stupid tax, guys. I want to be nicer. I'm going to be nicer because listen, everybody can only know what they know, and we're on the bleeding edge. So we're on the bleeding edge because we've been paying attention, because we knew this was going to happen. Whereas the orthodoxy, they don't know that. Anybody in the orthodoxy, which is the majority of the people, right? They're following the stupid box. So you know, we're here to say, listen, guys, everything's going into natural order as it should, which is what Brian's talking about with the prices, with the food and everything. Like, all the fake commodity crap, fake chemistry project food, or what, you're not going to be able to afford that crap in a minute, which is great, because guess what? You'll live longer. Congratulations.
Okay.
So,
for other preppers too. Well, not preppers,
Yeah.
just people that are thinking, and the market exists. It always, the agora, it's the market. You can have all kinds of feels about it, but as soon as you can detach yourself emotionally from the market
Yes.
existing, you aren't taking advantage of anybody.
no.
The price on a thing is getting bid up. You can look at that on the stock market all day.
Right.
The price of the phony baloney bullshit asset is getting bid up. People that don't even know what the asset is are playing with it on computer screens around the world. They're only buying it because it's going up on a chart.
Yeah.
So you're servicing, you are
servicing the demand. You're filling the gaps.
Right. You are creating liquidity
Correct.
in the community of moving around the extra beef and the extra this and the I had it behind the barn over here's a fucking giant stack of wood for Dowie. Like, hey Dowie, come move this shit. You can take it because I need my space back in the barn.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm giving it my stuff because I need driveway space back.
It's
so-
energy. It's energy. So like
Yeah,
the
look
way
around.
all these things, anything, everything has some value. I mean, this pen has some value, right? So like all we're doing, you got to just keep the energy moving. As long as the energy is moving and it has somewhere to go, it's going to go where there's a hole for it to fill.
Okay.
And I mean, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
now,
I mean, and it's going to be easier to localize this, I guess. Like,
It is. That is actually what is happening.
hyper local.
Everything is going to become hyper local, which we already knew, which is why we've been on the ready, which is what's happening. Like my food church has never been bigger, John. Everybody is just pouring in here. I have the gate up. I got the gate. Like, whoa,
and really,
who are
if you
Wait.
don't have high prices, you would be swarmed. The
Right.
only gatekeeping thing, the only
But it's not
gatekeeping
even like
tool you
we're
have
not
at
inflating
some
the
point.
prices. We're not inflating it. It's just what it is. And you know what's amazing is that the commodity crap in the grocery store is inflating to our price.
Oh, they're
It
past
is
our
inflating
prices
to
now.
our price.
Right.
Huh?
That's the funny thing is I looked at ground beef
Yeah.
and it was $5.50 a pound and it was shit.
Yep. And
Just-
what you
And
pay?
I get ground
In
beef
our
for
market, it's
$5.50 a pound
$9.75.
and it's grass fed,
Yeah.
grass finished, no
Mhm.
chemicals added.
Well, and I
awesome
paid
stuff.
I pay $6 a pound at the end of the day, right? For my grass, my pastured. It's finished on feed, whatever. I kind of like it that way.
Yeah.
But you
Mhm.
know, okay, so
But
it's close.
I also paid $6 a pound for the fucking ribeyes.
yeah,
yeah.
Good luck
that's what
finding
I mean.
that.
So it's a sliding
Right.
scale. You really
Yeah.
paid $10 a pound for the ribeye, and you know
And you
whatever.
paid $4 a pound for
Yeah.
your ground beef, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna think
So-
about it in parts, but if you're just gonna be like, I want this half a cow, I want this quarter, whatever, I mean, all I'm saying is that this is the best of times. Anytime that that they can trick everybody into believing these lies, whatever it is, on this grand scale, there's this fake matrix thing going on, right? While all that chaos is happening, the rest of us who are chill. If we're chill, we're just doing our thing because guess what? There's the civilized world that's freaking out. And then there's the uncivilized world, which is
That's
what we're
civilized.
Right. Yeah, we're
The barbarians.
civilized, and I think the uncivilized world is more civilized, and the civilized world is where all the bandits and all the thieves and the criminals and the murderers are. But like where we are, honoring the laws of the universe and nature, and operating in that law and of love, we are thriving as always. So y'all do whatever y'all crazy chaos people gonna do, and the rest of us is gonna still.
Well, and that's why I don't feel bad profiting, right?
Right.
If
Everybody's
people are going to
supposed to
pay me to teach them a class on how to process a pig, I'm going to give them that class because that's something I learned as part of my quest to get healthy food in my life at a price I could afford. And that means that I put some work in.
You should
And
never feel bad about anything
Right.
unless you're hurting somebody or taking advantage of them, none of which we are doing.
And now they want to learn it. Now I can teach you how to process
you're
your own
ready
chicken,
now,
and you
then
can
come
take it
on.
home and eat it. And now you can raise your chickens and
Right.
boom. And
To-
John,
To sort
John,
of, yeah. What's up?
I got a guy who's figured out how to tractor chickens without any feed costs. So you should totally talk to him.
How much land does
Yeah.
he have?
You can do it
More
on
than
a
you,
little
but it's in a
$0.17.
tractor system. So
John, you can do it on a compost pile. You
it's
I,
a deep
um,
compost system.
yeah.
You gotta have restaurant
compost.
relationships for this to work.
Oh,
Do you have restaurant
really?
relationships?
I don't have any of those.
Ah.
So,
Yeah. Okay,
uh,
just
Bring
saying.
that
You
shit
know what?
home.
to kind of a little different subject, but like, and it is getting off the X, and it's kind of like she was talking about criminals, right? And I don't think this
They
is the
are
kind.
criminals.
I don't think this is the kind she was talking about, but like,
Shit.
I did say to my wife today, look, don't go to Manchester anymore because I went and bought gas 3
Mhm.
days ago, roughly, and I've seen 2 fights at gas stations now in the last week. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
in that
Wow.
town,
Wow.
not in the fucking normal parts of where I live, but in that town. So people do need to start thinking a little more about security, I think, to get off the X as well. Because when people get desperate and run out of food and money, they do more weird shit, right? And my wife and a baby in a little Toyota Corolla is a target.
Right.
I'm not a fucking target because I'll kill you. But like, she's much more of a target. So I just said to her, like, hey, look, and it's as a man, it's tough to be like, look, don't go to this place because you sound like a controlling fucking douchebag. But like, it's all about security. Obviously, she understands. But like,
you're not a douchebag. You're being chivalrous and you're being responsible for your family. What are you talking about?
We
agree,
had the exact same conversation, John.
I don't want you going to this place anymore. It depends on how you present that statement, right? Like,
it was more like, where are you going to carry?
You can
and
present it to
like,
sound like an asshole.
Right. You got to bring her attention to that thing because she's focused on the baby. Like that. That's how it was for me. I'm focused on the kids, and so my husband's got to be like, yo. And by the way, did you know there's a crowbar right there in case you need to grab it? Like by the door.
Oh, yeah, we're very,
or whatever. It's just a nice reminder, and so it's not a diminishing thing at all.
It's a horrible time to be thinking about security and purchasing shit. But if you have really not done anything,
one more thing to learn. You can do it.
It's a shitty time to go do it, but like, don't get caught in the name brand thing. Get a functional thing that does.
North Carolina still has gun shops more than anywhere. There was actually a chart.
You live in free.
There was a chart, and how about Tennessee doesn't have as many gun shops as North Carolina? Nicole, what's up with that? Like, so, I was.
We don't need them.
Oh, because everybody there's already armed up, right? So,
what do you use a gun shop for?
Are we having a?
Nicole's like, what?
Are we having
where you get your guns?
Let's think about that from a bunch of different sides, though. We talked about like, right, the wave is high. So if you're sitting on some extra stuff and you maybe want to like consolidate your calibers to, time to like stop playing it, putting holes in paper, and we're starting about using tools.
I just did this.
Maybe you get rid of some of your toys.
Yeah.
Right.
To somebody who really could use it at way more than toy price.
I no longer have 40 caliber in my life. I just did this.
You did it. So you've chucked 40.
When
you consolidate?
When that douchebag shot up that fucking grocery store in Tennessee, in that town that's about the same size as the town I live in, I was like, I need an easier to carry pistol because I wasn't carrying my full size 9 all the time. So I just said, I'll get another 9. And I had 40. So I took that, sold that to the gun store here, and bought a 9. And because I live in New Hampshire, I was in and out of that fucking place in 30 minutes. That's nice.
So you've got something that's more usable.
You have white devil dust, man. I'm saying.
Yeah,
okay.
You change
my house isn't going to randomly blow away.
So, yeah.
But we
just called me the Wicked Witch. Just for
we essentially have no gun laws in New Hampshire, so that's nice. That's our one nice thing about New Hampshire. We essentially have no gun laws here.
Yeah. Keep your toys if you're stacked and racked. I'm just saying, like, it is going to be the top of a market.
Yeah.
If you wanted to trade some value stuff for other value stuff, now might be a good time to do it.
Yeah. I did also just get a case of 9mm in the mail today.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Woo! Split it with my sister-in-law who lives in a state that, come on, still fucking waiting. So I'll tell it's New York State.
Those are just paperweights.
she finally got her carry permit. It took her like 3 years. Okay. And then she went out. She's buying the same. I got a SIG 365. She's buying that gun because she held it and liked it and whatever. I did not take it to New York for her to check out. Okay. And
she reached her hand over the line.
Yes, she fucking teleported here. So now she purchased the gun 3 weeks ago. Still does not have it in her possession because it's got to be added to her permit. What the fuck is going on in New York? Oh my God. I'm like, she's telling me this. And I'm like, I don't even know what any of this shit means. What are you talking about? I walked into a gun store. Handed the guy a gun.
That happened to us, John. So like I went to go pick up a pistol and they were like, oh, we have to add it to your permit and blah, blah, blah. What all this other crap. And so I was in Tennessee and I was talking to somebody over there at Jaeger's spot and they were just like, what are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, welcome to North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina got New Yorkified, and I know this because all the assholes where I grew up moved there and fucking ruined it.
They did. Yeah. Why are they coming here?
Because there were no jobs in upstate New York. They literally only moved because of work. They didn't
Yeah.
move because of tyranny. That's like
They
it's
did.
like the
Everybody was
opposite.
job shopping down here, and we got
Yeah.
a whole bunch of Michiganites and
Yep.
Um,
And they didn't-
Michiganders.
Like right now, everybody freaks out about Californians moving to Texas, but they're moving because California fucking sucks and it's tyrannical. So they're probably
Right.
not going to go to Texas and ruin it. But when New
Right.
York State people move just because a factory closed,
Right.
they ruin the fucking place where they
That's
go.
right.
And
You're correct. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
totally did.
this was back in the late 80s. I saw this happening.
Well, it happened again. And then, but when Michiganites
Yeah.
came, they're totally helping. They're helping our
Good.
cause.
Yeah, because they're a little better.
They'll
Well, because
sweep the
they already
street.
had more tyranny than we did up there with all the mafia in Michigan.
All right.
The mafia, Michigan mafia, and like, you know, the Illinois mafia. Oh, choo.
Old Detroit. Somebody runs that town. Oh my
Somebody's
god.
running it. Let me tell you. Somebody's
No,
running
seriously. So my cousin works on the line down at one of the auto plants, right?
it. Uh-huh.
Seahawks are playing the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
He calls me at 6 a.m. because he works overnight. And he's like, dude, on our lunch hour, which was like 3 a.m., he said the line boss, which was the man, came
Mhm.
down and said, go take your pink slips at lunch and go put your cars on and put money down on Pittsburgh. Like, seriously, we got the games are like, we got this. So, like, literally telling all the guys on that entire shift to go bet their car pink slips because the boys had the game. And if you remember how that game came down to it, one bullshit call at the end with the zebra like calling it and gives the game to Pittsburgh. Dun, dun, dun. He told me that at like 6 a.m. and laughed in my face how I was like Seattle had absolutely no effing chance because it was bought and sold. And didn't they just bust a professional guy for like gambling and actually throwing games because of the AI backtracking now? I think that was like yesterday or the day before.
I shut down football news after
Boom.
my team gets out of the playoffs.
No, seriously. So the new AI, right, is going to be able, once they sniff out a guy's like gambling on the games and throwing them by just a little bit of this or that, or a ref, the AI is going to be able to analyze every game they ever were in and every play they ever made. Boom. Oh, yeah. Now that the cat's out of the bag, just wait.
I don't like
sorry. Off topic.
We-
But
let's
gambling
not
is
turn this
another
into
how to
football.
make money in
We
a
did this
recession.
on Toolman Tim's show. If you want to hear us talk about football, go watch Toolman Tim's show last week after you unloose the goose, the after party.
Oh
So-
yeah. Hey, should we give him
What'd
a
you do,
quick
forget?
plug? Did you hear? Okay, so his hashtag is oh shit, now I'm gonna get it wrong. Do me dirty Tim, I think, or do me dirty Mike Rowe.
Oh yeah. We're trying to
Dude.
get Tim the Toolman on Mike Rowe,
Yeah, that would be
or vice
awesome.
versa.
So everybody that
We
saw
also
any
so
podcast,
we're
go
also trying to
plug
get-
into that.
we're also trying to get Spirko on Rogan, and I actually yesterday was listening to smash and like that subscribe button, that fucking guy, and Tim Pool, and I like him, but I almost have to turn it off when he says that.
Is
but,
he on the get Spearco on?
Well, I think you could just super chat him and tell him about Spirko, and he would look him up, and that would be a stepping stone to Rogan. That's my plan here. I'm on a mission. I emailed Rogan, but no response. So yeah, it's out there.
All
If we
right.
all super chat Tim Pool and say you need to get, because he's been talking about preparedness a lot on his show, which actually has been good. Like he's got an interesting problem, I guess, where he's got a bunch of chickens and he's got an extra 60 eggs, so he just stuck them in a fucking incubator. And I'm like, yeah, man, way to go. I might do that this year.
Mhm.
But because I actually have big black copper Morans, and that's all I have. So the roosters actually get nice, and I have never processed one of them, and I'd like to. So we'll see where it goes.
It's probably a good season to sell chicks, right?
Yes,
I'd imagine
Yeah.
a bunch of people want to start.
I get
Yeah.
my number one hit on my website is quail, but the problem is when you do the math on quail as a profitable like business, first of all it'd be like a full-time thing, because if you're going to do quail and you're going to make money, you have to incubate, hatch, brood again, because I got to have two stages for brooding really if you're doing a lot, and then grow out and then process or sell birds, whichever you're going to do. But then you got to do that again immediately, right? So it's like you're never stopping that process. You're constantly okay, more eggs are in the incubators. Now they're coming out. Now they're brooding and hatching. Now more eggs are going in the incubator. And it's like, good luck, man. You're going to do that full time. But the only way, I mean, I made decent money last year. We were just trying to pay the electric bill at the grow room because we weren't making any real money here. So we set up incubators here and hatched quail and sold chicks. And we made, $300-$400 a month doing that. So it's definitely a thing. And I should do a couple runs of it and just sell, make a quick $1,000 or something. But yeah, there's so I mean, if you're into that, if you have time, there's definitely money in hatching quail. I don't know about chickens.
I don't know. We have a new hatchery in Memphis, Tennessee that is the McMurray Memphis
nice.
office.
They're good.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm not sure. So we have a couple of local hatcheries, but competing with McMurray is probably not super easy.
Their quality's excellent.
Yeah.
I've gotten chickens from
excellent
them.
quality.
I get my ducks from Metzer only.
Yeah.
If I'm getting ducks, they're the only one to get from. Unless you're gonna, you find a local person, but that's hit and miss, man, with local hatcheries. Even my birds, I'm like, I hatched and I wasn't real thrilled. You really got to spend a lot of time selecting genetics, and it's a commitment to do that.
It
This
really
is a good
is.
one from Mike Vertree. So ready to lay chickens in early spring.
Yeah.
By getting your
John.
chicks in October.
Or
Absolutely.
hatch your own.
Right
Right
around
on.
Easter,
Yeah.
people are like, I want an egg layer.
Yeah.
I always that's
Especially right
another-
around Easter. They want them right around Easter.
even where I'm at, I only get ducklings and chicks, chickens and ducks. We're talking not quail or anytime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I only do ducks and chicks in October, November, and even where I'm at. And by the time they're feathered out, in time to go outside and with adequate shelter, like a greenhouse or something.
Mhm.
And then you're not paying that fucking feed bill for the whole year, for no reason. They're going to lay at the same exact time as if you get them now, or if you get them in October next year is when,
Yeah.
you might get a handful this year, but it isn't going to be anything significant.
Hey, what hatchery do you recommend for turkey poults? Anybody?
I've only ever got them at the local feed store. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd
We
say-
have folks that are doing it on the farm here
Does
because we
McMur-
don't do
does
a lot
Murray
of
McMurray?
turkey.
Does Murray McMurray do
Oh
turkeys?
yeah, they totally do.
They did.
Yeah.
They're great in cackle, I think,
Mhm.
right?
I think.
There might be one more I'm forgetting. That's
I
good.
don't know. We don't sell so much turkey anymore, and so whatever we do, we just
I wonder
they were
if
doing them.
Metzer.
local.
I wonder if Metzer did.
I have a freezer full of turkey right now in case anybody needs some.
I buy them. Oh, I have an announcement.
Okay.
I don't know if this is, I
Dum.
don't know if this shit's true where you live though. When's St. Patty's Day is next Thursday?
March 15th or something, probably.
17, 15,
Isn't
whatever.
it? Yeah, something
Next
like that.
either next Tuesday or Thursday. Irrelevant.
Okay.
Next weekend is discount corned beef day, just so everybody knows to go fill your
Oh.
damn freezer.
Thursday the
Yeah.
17th. Yeah.
And yeah, so
Love corned
right
beef.
after Christmas is discount turkey day or Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And ham, spiral cut
Yeah.
ham. Oh,
I mean,
my
it's
favorite.
it's factory farm shit, but hey, man, protein is protein if you need it, right?
Yeah, for 59 cents a
John.
pound.
Neethi is losing her
Oh, for sure.
mind.
I'm like,
Sorry,
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Sorry,
I actually have to go, y'all.
Sorry,
Um,
Nathan.
I have to go because
You're running the shop.
I
Baby
have
steps
to go
towards
because we
food
have the shop
independence.
running, and also
Cool.
I'm leaving town again, and so. But I wanted to come play, and I wanted to come talk about getting off the X. And Nicole, I'm so happy you're going to come, and so I do want to just put a plug in everybody to try to reserve October 15th to come to Raleigh, North Carolina. Check us out here at the Food Church because we're going to have the first Food Church conference. We're going to have Daniel Soliton. We're going to have Nicole Sauce. We're going to have Dr. Camberry. We're going to have the Jacksons. You're going
Neethi
to
Volley will be speaking as well.
I will be right here. And I would love for you guys to come check us out. We're working really hard to get it since we had to pivot because we had to get off the X and because we keep on having to get off the X. So I'm working to get this place all set up so that it's show ready and ready to host you guys and, welcome everyone. So that's the other reason I'm leaving this
Wait,
weekend.
are you going to serve hollow roast?
I'm always serving hollow roasts.
What about his coffee?
Actually, Brian has
Forest Farms
blessed it.
is really
He has
good.
blessed
I
it.
am a member of his club. Just
Yeah,
saying.
She
because,
is.
because holler
Oh,
roast.
Nicole. Thank you,
because
Nicole.
Oh, shit. What did I
It's
just do?
closer to me, and we had this whole conversation. We're supporting Brian, and I'm sending people Brian's way all the time too.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
guys, we have 2 roasters on this show, which could be awkward, but I love his coffee.
My NFT project is just going to be, it's going to be so fun. So I decided I'm going to run my own market, right? Because if I die, there's no more coffee I'm making, so it doesn't matter anyway, right? So when you get your NFT issued, you're getting 100th control of the production. So I'm going to actually list a bid and a ask on my website. So once they're sold and there's no more to go out, waiting list starts, right? And we'll start a bid ask right on the website. And then anybody that's a current member that wants to do redistribution, because the deal is, that's the beauty, right? I'm only going to have to deal with 100 human beings that I have a relationship with. So they text me or call, like whatever. Orders are so
This
easy.
is sort of
right?
what Patrick did, right?
I don't know. Bye, Neethi. Bye, Neethi.
Hey, Steele.
I don't know when the online
when
training for the food church is, but in person
Okay,
is October 15th.
I'm working on
October
it.
15th.
I'm working on it. I'm building it, but the real one is more of a priority. But Michael, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. All right, love y'all.
See you.
Bye.
Hey, tell me about Patrick Rohrman's thing. Okay,
Hold
so
on.
what did he do after he
Real
got
quick.
when he sold the original knives?
The original positions.
Two
Yeah,
points
yeah,
to think about.
That's exactly it.
Wait,
2
wait, wait.
points real
John
quick.
has a thing first before we move on.
2 points
We're
real
going to be
quick.
focused
about-
here.
Okay.
2 points real quick about birds, poultry. I
Oh,
have
poultry.
2 things
Oh yeah.
real quick. And this might be something people already know. Don't ever buy any fucking birds at Tractor Supply. Ever. Unless like you just have like this
Closeout
statistic-
birds.
Yeah,
I buy
yeah, maybe.
closeout birds.
Yeah, 50 cents a whack. 1, don't ever use Ridgeway Hatchery in Ohio for anything. That's all I got. Worst fucking hatchery on the planet. Anyway, that's all I
Okay.
got. They're super cheap.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. What now? Patrick's knife thing,
Yeah.
right? He sold memberships for like $350 or something, right?
And it
No, I think it
gave
was
you the right-
500.
and it gave
500?
you the right to buy the first
Yes.
top on
I think
anything you
got it.
ever made,
Didn't you
right?
get a knife with the first one?
There were, I don't know, 100 or 500 positions. I think it was 100
He did
positions.
100, yeah.
$500 or something.
Yep.
And they sold out super fast. And
Yep.
now if you want a position, they go up for auction and you're going to pay more than the original price.
And all it is the right to buy the knives. Yeah.
And
If
that-
only somebody had one to sell me, Mike Bertrice.
And that original, yeah. So that knife changes
Doesn't Jake
hands,
have,
right?
like,
So
3?
it would go from Michael to you, right?
Mhm.
And then you would tell Patrick, "Hey, Patrick,
Mhm.
I now own this number 87."
Yep.
Right. So
Easy.
all future announcements would now just come to you. He would erase
Yeah.
Mike and write you in. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
And then when Patrick does a different, so he does his neck knives, which I don't have mine on. It's right over there.
Mine's at
Badass,
PSA in
perfect for
Dallas.
butchering.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he does these specialty knives, and 1 year will be a chef knife. And it's not every year, but whenever he does them, he does them. You get first rights to your knife with your number.
Yep.
Based on the fact you have a position, which is a neck knife.
right.
And if you don't want it, he'll sell it to somebody else and it will sell. And I have one of his chef knives, and oh my God, I was like literally making dinner before it's cooking in the oven right now so that I have food after this. Love the work he does.
Nice.
So he left himself open to taking orders from everybody in the universe,
Yeah, he was also
and
selling.
his people
Yeah.
get first crack, right? That's what they get extra is
Yeah.
the
They weren't
first
always-
crackness
he
and
was
numbered
just-
edition.
He was just doing I think he was just doing like, here's 100 knives for the stakeholders, and that's it a lot of times. And then
Right.
he always is
Yeah.
running his production knives, like his Genesis.
Yeah, his
and all that.
production knives happen. The stakeholder knives, he'll just do 100 of something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a chef's knife or a
So
I don't know.
essentially, he needed to keep doing his his regular production knives to stay in business. But when he made the extra money, like with the stakeholders, he only was doing the 100. So it was a hybrid model, I guess, of what you're saying. You only want to deal with the 100, and that's it.
Just for simplicity in my life, right? So I ship once a month. I only deal with my 100 people that I deal with. So things
this
are
makes
really
me sad, just saying.
Call him up, ask him.
Oh, that is sad. So yeah. And then the other thing, what I learned from being in a bunch of different companies, right, is never let any one income stream, even though it wants to be a runaway pony, be a runaway pony, because then you get addicted to that stream. Your other streams get neglected because you've got a cash cow. Your eyes off the ball on your other streams. Then someone throws a dam upstream. Fuck, you're dead. So
Yeah.
don't get tricked. So that's the whole point of the whole permaculture thing, right? Limits to growth and consumption. My limit to that income, I've limited myself. I can't grow past this. I can get a little bigger around the edges, right? Because if one of those people want to resell, but they will be on a strict, you only get 100th. And whatever. There are boundaries to my growth on purpose so that you can't kick my stool out because I've got 100 legs. So
Yeah.
that requires discipline too, right? Because it's the easy money. But
Well, and if you decide you have
vulnerability.
time and if you decide you have time and you can offer 50 more, then you do it.
nah. It becomes too big a piece because
Does
the
it?
deal is I roast every effing pound.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
never
but
going to
I
have
don't
an
know.
employee.
Same.
Maybe you
No
streamline
employees.
something. I need to learn how to do this coffee thing you people are doing.
Yeah.
I need
You
to
know,
add
if
another.
only you could private label somebody's coffee,
Yeah.
him or me.
Oh,
That's the whole thing.
let's
Don't do
talk
it.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, we have because I tried to import Cuban coffee beans and couldn't. Remember?
Yeah. Cuban
That's all I
coffee
want,
is
man.
a non-starter.
I want Fidel Dowie's Cuban roast. That's what I want. I don't want anything else.
Okay, Brian, that's all you. That's all you.
Hey, it would sell great out in
How much you
Seattle.
want to pay? We can get it over in suitcases.
Well, I
but
learned.
you're-
I learned how. I seriously took like a personalized, like self-taught course on how ridiculous it is to live in Cuba. So all you fucking commies out there wanting that stuff, like go try to import some coffee and learn how fucked up it is. They like ration out the coffee to the civilians, and if you get it or you don't, whatever. And then the oligarchs over there just sell all the rest of it to England and profit off, or Europe. And then, so if you want to get Cuban beans in the U.S., you have to get it through an importer in Europe or something along those lines. It's still wicked hard, very expensive. Didn't make any sense.
no
So
commie coffee.
I moved
No
on.
commie coffee.
yeah, it's so fucking good though. And I know. So that's the thing is,
Says
know they don't-
who? I gotta taste
yeah,
this
this
commie
guy.
coffee.
No, you got to go to Florida and find a good Cuban restaurant and
Oh
get.
no, that shit!
Yeah.
They burn it.
I was just in Florida on Sunday.
burned.
You didn't go to a touch of Cuba
with
in
sugar
Miami.
and milk. That's all that is.
Yeah, no, it's great. I get it no sugar. No, I love it. I just love their. So I get the Cafe Bustelo up here, and I kind of mimic it that way.
Oh,
But and it's
killing
super
me.
cheap coffee. It's pretty good. But yeah, obviously they're not using Cuban coffee, right?
no,
They might be.
maybe I don't
I
know.
doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, if it's that expensive in like this place, it's like $2 for a cup of coffee. There's no way.
No.
So, I got to
Oh.
figure out what they're using, right? Just, I mean, is it just a roast style or is it the bean?
A Cuban coffee.
Yeah.
Is the roast style. They just torch the shit out of it. Literally, it's just torched. It's just
why I
burnt
like
up
it.
coffee.
That's why I
Yeah,
like it.
you like acid water
Yeah, I do.
because you dump sugar and cream and shit in it. If you like evaluate the
No sugar.
coffee.
Nah,
Okay.
no sugar, just cream.
Yeah.
Just
When are you going to get a cow, John? On your 0.7 acre?
Never. Absolutely not. I'm not allowed. That's one of the laws where I live. No actual livestock on under 3 acres. It's because some dickhead had like 14 horses on half an acre or some shit. Ruined it for everybody.
but you've got a beef share set up, right?
I have relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows a guy.
I can make a call.
My favorite comment when we did underground networking is he said, "I know nothing about this," and I'm like, "So the Barrel Baron
Yeah, the barrel baron.
of New Hampshire doesn't know how to do underground networking." He's like, "Well, I know a guy for stuff." I'm like, "You know a guy for everything."
I do know that's true. Very true. You got to have a guy for everything. It's beautiful.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a makers market on my upper driveway March 26th. So I
There you go.
invited all Freedom community, but you know what? I'm gonna put it up on Craigslist. So everybody that's coming, I've been like send pictures. So I make it a Craigslist garage sale, right? And
Yeah.
pictures sell stuff. So
It's an interesting idea. That's
send me pictures of what they're doing, right? And then this is what's at the garage sale.
I've always
Yeah,
wanted
just-
to do an open house on my farm every year, but that's an interesting way to approach it.
Okay, so here's the other
always a-
deal.
It's
I'm
always
gonna
a shit show, but
So then so it's open 10 to 3. I'm gonna do once a month, like whatever the heck that first Saturday is or last Saturday or some I'll figure that pattern out. But anyway, I'm doing barbecue buffet ready at noon. So whatever, I'll get a general idea how many people show up, 10-ish, 11-ish, right? And throw on hot dogs, burgers, potato salads, and chips and shit, and whatever, $10. So if you're gonna come vend, you could bring food and do all the hassle, or you're right, or just pay me $10. So we'll see. So I might have found a little profit center, which could be good for everybody, right? Because people that make stuff need a place to sell it. The regular farmers market down there, I think, is charging $35 for a booth plus 6% of sales. And I'm going to be buy a bag of $20 coffee, and you get the coffee.
Yeah.
And if they bring people to my place to buy their stuff, the people that come to my place now know, hey, there's a coffee roaster right here. So yeah. It's like driving Uber. Advertising to people.
I can't get my fucking head around charging a percentage of sales at a farmer's market. I just have never heard of that in my life. You said it a couple shows ago, and it still blows my mind. Like we're $25 for a booth or something like that here, and that's it. Like cut and dry. What are they doing with 6%?
It's effing real estate out here, man. They're having to pay the man to get the parking lot by the
they're
road.
leasing the lot or something.
Well, they got to pay the shopping, the shopping center.
Ours is right in the little town free fucking park thing. So free.
Well, if it's this one's not run by the city. I was at one that was.
This isn't run by the
market.
city. They just get they're allowed to use the park for nothing, and I just like if they told me 6% of my sales, I'd tell them to fuck off and set up across the street for free.
So that's why I'm creating my own market, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you. It costs you buying a bag of coffee from me, so you're technically my customer when you're on my property.
Yeah.
So in case you kill yourself, then you're a customer.
Yeah. I got to start thinking about if I'm even going to do that this year. I don't even know. Probably a good year to maybe commit to it if everything.
But
you should totally commit to what you're gonna do and fucking make it happen, John.
It's now's the time.
It's so much hassle for not a lot of money. The farmers market. That's the problem for me. It's
then
nuts.
don't do it and do something else that makes you money. Like don't do it if it doesn't make you money now.
It's good community connections though. Last year I was
got
thinking
them already. Just
I
go
know,
shop at the market to get the shit you want for the people you know. Meet the new people.
I could sell barrels there though.
Oh, Nicole, your show
sell
this
barrels
week
while you're shopping at the market for the good food.
Yeah,
maybe.
You riffed on all your breakdown on making money or not at your last event.
Yeah,
that was the greatest show ever. You were so brutal.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't brutal. Like it's just
honest.
That
You gotta
crowd
be
doesn't
honest.
want my coffee.
No, it's. But you analyzed it from a business thing.
But
like,
if you
why
want to
am
sell
I going
books,
here?
like get a booth at that fucking event because you will sell the fuck out of books there.
That's so it's interesting too, right? Like when you go there, what's your real objective?
Mm-hmm.
What are all the objectives? Like, is it to sell max cups for max price, to like make the gross, to make the net, or is it to like pick up 2 white label clients and sell some break even coffee because you've got this other revenue stream that you spun up?
Exactly. And that's the same with the farmer's market for John.
Yeah. If you can convert a chef to a chef client because you were at the market, that's a fucking score. If you sell a thing of greens, probably not.
Yeah. My goal's always been to nail some home delivery people while I'm there. Now I can sell rain barrels or something there though too, Yeah. And I make a good profit.
Okay, but so me going to an event for 2 days takes me 5 to 6 days.
Right.
Okay.
Of labor time.
Yep. You going to a farmer's market once a week for a whole fucking season is at least 2 days of your time for the whole fucking season. Which is a lot of time. And if you only get a couple restaurant clients, you could have spent that time doing direct outreach.
Yeah.
And
no, that's a good point.
If you like
paying your Indian assistant
market, you're in the mix anyway. It doesn't, at this point, you're in the mix anyway.
It's tough. I don't know. If I can hire again and pay someone to man the booth, that's fine. But
no, I think Nicole's thinking out of the box with her digital assistant, and like we got to think the same way. What if we employed that strategy to help our little businesses like reach more people? because I am not a Twitter whore. I don't want to. But now I'm creating content that somebody else could probably do a good job of pointing people to, because I'm not good at it. So you got to admit the same thing, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
You're
I know
great
it's hard because it was hard for me to leave the farmer's market too.
Oh, it's not hard for me to leave it because I fucking hate doing it. But like,
No, but market a different way. Market a
I
different way.
feel
That's all.
it's-
I feel
It's-
like you
I
made
only-
one call and landed one of the biggest contracts you've had after
Yeah.
we had the same talk about a
No,
different
but
item.
my
It had
hang up
nothing to do with the farmer's market.
my hang up with the farmers market is okay. There's basically 2 farms in this town that used to be a farming town, and by both farms supporting the farmers market, it's good for the community. It's a community thing, and that's why I feel some obligation to try to do it.
Yeah.
I make money I basically make a little bit of money, and I did pull some home delivery people out of it and whatever. But I also had an employee then that was doing it, so I didn't have to. The only risk I was putting up was
It's a lot.
if the product doesn't sell, it's not going to sell. But then we also piggybacked that into, there was a farm just north of us that was taking greens from us the day after. So we were just taking whatever we didn't sell to their farm store, and they were selling out of it. So there was no risk factor then, I don't have that person anymore though. And my wife is raising our son. So
Yes, important.
yeah. So
Look
I don't know.
at that carefully. It doesn't mean
Although-
that you don't participate in your community, but
Yeah.
think about other ways you can fill that hole. If
Yeah.
the farmer's market's not a good fit, and I don't know if it is or isn't, because you need to analyze that. How do you get people to your farm for the stuff?
Yeah, true. You know what the interesting thing was about a farmer's market? It's better to do 2. And I know that sounds nuts.
No, it doesn't sound nuts to me at all.
Because I got to cut this shit and package it, right? And if it doesn't sell at the first one, which it won't all, because we purposely bring too much, it'll all sell at the second one. And
Yeah.
it's same prep time for 2.
Like a Saturday, Sunday thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
That was, but then the fucking obstacle has always been ours is on a Wednesday. And then the next one that we could get into was on a Sunday.
Yeah,
And it's
not good.
We can't hold.
You need
product
Wednesday, Friday, or Wednesday,
Yeah,
Thursday.
we could do it the
Yeah.
opposite way, maybe. So Wednesday, Sunday just doesn't work. Wednesday, Saturday, maybe. It's one of those things. It's like, man, I can't work this stupid thing out.
Yeah, Thursday, Saturday. That'd be.
But for
perfect,
each,
too.
the point is, though, is I could add some revenue to actually have it to go to the market by each market we go to. I have a really nice rain barrel that the girl across the river painted. She painted it white, and she painted like little cartoon frogs and butterflies and flowers and shit all over. It's beautiful, right? I could take that rain barrel with me every time. It would catch eyes. It would sell rain barrels. Every rain barrel I sell, I make $35 profit. It takes me about 15 minutes. So, nothing wrong with that. Sell 10 of those at a farmer's market every week. Bam.
Yeah, 409. Haha, 409. Yeah, that was last month.
For you? Or are you high
Yeah.
like California?
It's like 5 something. I don't
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
And I have to. This is fucking killing me. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
so
do-
Hunter, just
I
to,
do.
to bring this home, Brian's like, that's almost $1 less than what we're paying right now.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be $7 by give another 2 weeks. Not
I do 600 miles a week delivering. So this is kind of fucking me up.
Yeah, but okay. So as soon as this started coming down, so actually yesterday morning, I went back into my Dash driver app and hotted it back up, because as soon as I get my 50-mile-gallon car again, I'm gonna start dragging food around, because as soon as fuel goes kooky, they put in the massive like driver surcharges.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, and then
Oh, no.
the UBI is about to be distributed, because they signed this exec order for the CDCC. So the way
really?
to distribute, that allows it's the U.S. dollar coin, the Fed coin, right? And think about it. If they tried the UBI with the debit cards, right, and they were going to the wrong people, and you had to have pins, and it didn't work, blah blah blah. They have made sure that every person that needs one in the whole United States over the last 10 years has a smartphone, like everyone. everyone who's on assistance, anyone who's on food stamps, every single person has a smartphone. That means you got a phone number. So really, I heard this thing like a while back from a really smart Intel guy. Every human on planet Earth has 10 digits that are unique to them. They don't need your social security number. We all have one number. We have our phone number.
I don't know. My parents share a cell phone.
But if for free money, like hey, here's $2,000 a month for free. By the way, if you don't have a cell phone yet, just stop by your local county courthouse.
Back to that executive order. Did you read the brief they put out on that?
No, I just knew.
So I read the brief, and every point is we will study how to blah blah blah, except for we're going to establish a digital currency if we need one. So as near as I can tell, the purpose of that whole brief was to establish a digital currency run by the federal government. And everything else is we're going to study how to make digital currencies equitable and accessible for people in the lowest income brackets, which it already is.
Yeah, that's
like it is. It's way more accessible.
Yeah.
Than the central banking system that exists now.
Think about
and then they're going to control it and protect consumers, which I don't know how they're doing that.
Well, they were just giving away the money.
Control.
But you had to run it through the Visa thing to use your debit card, right?
Right.
So that means
I've participated at a farmer market management level with the whole food stamp system, which has a PC name I can't remember right now. Yep. That shit costs a lot of fucking money. Yep. It is not accessible.
And if they just whack that and have it be frictionless on a blockchain so that they can give you your benefits and you can spend it 10 cents at a time and have like 1/100th of a penny transaction cost, and they'll be able to see what you bought. Hey,
WS Kamikaze.
It's the so they're going to be dropping money on us this year again by the end of the year, guaranteed. The war will be too scary. You're going to need money. So it's coming. So get a plan.
Yeah, I mean that all I see from that executive order is the digital currency is coming, and we've known that's coming the whole time. Here's K-Bonk asking, can executive orders be reversed by anything but another EO? Yes, they can be reversed in a couple of ways. Congress can pass a law that and the Supreme Court can say fuck you.
Yeah, because Supreme Court did that with
Trumpy's one got whacked.
Right?
But the executive order on digital currency that came out does fuck all based on what I did. What I saw. It indicates where they're going.
Am I getting $2,000 a month? Is that what you're telling me? When does this shit start?
No. The executive order didn't do that.
I'm telling you by the end of the year.
I'll take all the money those assholes want to give me.
Right. So just have a plan for it, because most people aren't ready and they burned their last shit on stupid stuff. So
I'm burning some right now, though. But not stupid stuff.
If you don't have a pot to piss in, think about what you're going to do with your rain down money.
Oh, they're not going to think about shit. Look, I said this a long time ago with UBI, and I might have been a little bit wrong about it because it looks like some people didn't fucking actually do what I said. But if you're someone who busts ass and you get a bunch of free money, you're going to keep busting ass. If you're some douchebag that sits around and eats fucking Doritos and plays video games all day, you're just going to eat more fucking Doritos.
Right.
So UBI isn't going to change people that are alive working right now. UBI will fuck up the next generation because they won't have to work and learn how to work as hard unless they have parents like me that fucking make them work. So I'm not worried about UBI for people that are 18 plus, 22 plus right now. I'm worried about UBI for people that are minus 20.
Here's one. I'm 100% with you. WS Kamikaze. I can't really read it. The latest executive order with crypto was just an advertisement for CBDCs. Exactly. Yep. That's what it looked like to me. I read the brief they put out, but I don't know if that is different from the text, because usually you can look at the actual executive order. So I don't know.
I'm surprised that the dementia patient even knows what cryptocurrency is. I know he didn't write it. I'm just fucking.
Well, if you read the executive order, it's clear they don't exactly understand how it works.
Well, he didn't write any of it. That's the point.
Also, the people who didn't exactly understand how cryptocurrency works. That was what was funny about reading
security checks. Yeah.
Thin the herd.
Yeah. Sure. Create more opportunity for our kids, right?
Yeah, just
Okay, so let's sum up. We're getting close to 2 hours here.
Yeah.
Thoughts on getting off the X? I'm gonna start with John Dowie.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. You gotta just adapt, adjust, keep your eyes open. think about what could happen, right? And prepare for that as much as you can if you haven't already, or maybe expand your preparations, I guess. Don't panic. Don't slip into a state of fucking pure rage like I did in the last 24 hours. I'm just mad at the people that put us in this place because we work so hard to not be in this place. I shouldn't say what I want to say on YouTube, so I'll keep that to myself because I'll end up going to a January. They'll end up putting me in a fucking January 6th cell with somebody. So I don't know. How long do we take it is my question. But I know we work outside the system, but sometimes that system is going to affect us, and we have to figure it out. But hey, man, just keep thinking.
All right. Brian.
Oh gosh. All right. Come visit me at Scramblin' University. I think I'm up to show like 28. I just figured out podcast stuff to go up on Apple like yesterday. Oh, and I'm super dangerous. I figured out commercials this morning.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, if you want a comical show of an old guy doing bong rips, come by. And now you get a commercial at the end to support my habit for better weed. So, foodforestfarms.com.
Were we plugging? Check me out. We're trying to do as weekly as possible on my YouTube channel, Dowie Farm, with the micro farmers. So we're on episode 5. Once we get to episode 15, hopefully have the kinks worked out and we'll actually be a podcast. But right now we're just on YouTube, and I guess we're on Odyssey, but we've got literally 0 fucking views on Odyssey. So
and maybe another Goose after party.
Yeah, I think I streamed a float too last time, but I'm not sure.
Good.
That's part of the fun, isn't it? That is part of the fun.
Yes.
All right, guys. So on this topic, I think the fear driving the get off the X mindset is wrong. Let go of your fear. Let go of your rage, Dowie, and figure out how you're going to pivot. I already know Dowie knows how to pivot because I've seen him pivot one time in a really bad situation, and now he has another one coming at him. He'll be fine. The reason he'll be fine, though, is because he's worked on the skills of critical thinking and of being flexible. And he's able to look at priorities and figure out, well, fuck, I'm going to do this other thing because that thing isn't working. And that mindset will get you through more than anything from starting your own business to prepping to all of the things we talk about doing here. The mindset and exercising that brain is what you need to do to get through whatever's coming. We don't know what's coming, right? Flexibility gets you through it. Building skills gets you through it. Being able to do blacksmithing, like we heard from, who was it? Justin or somebody was talking about his son does blacksmithing.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. That skill may not help you at all, but the things you learn in learning a skill like that will get you through everything. And that's why it's so important to get out and do things, even when the fear machine is hitting you in the face time after time after time. It's no good. Yeah. Right. Hey, ignore the fear machine. Go learn your shit, and that shit will help you at some point. If you want to know more about me, check out my podcast, Living Free in Tennessee. It's at livingfreeintennessee.com. Of course, buy your coffee from Holler Roast or Food Forest Farms, one of us, because we make awesome coffee. And then we've got a couple events where you can meet people in person. Coming up, I have the the Exit and Build Summit that John Bush is putting on in May is exitandbuildsummit.com. I'm doing selfreliancefestival.com. Tickets are $35 through the 1st of April. And I'm speaking, John Willis from Special Operations Equipment. We've got Jack Spirko from the Survival Podcast. We got Billy Bond from Perma Pastures. Really great lineup, and we're adding speakers all the time. Kim Berry will be there on site talking to you about eating right, which means we better not sell a bunch of carbs in the concession place.
Right.
It's going to be a great time. $35, man. Go check it out, selfreliancefestival.com.
I want to come to that. I might be there.
You should totally be there. You better talk to me soon.
I'm trying to do a thing where I bring the wife and the baby so we can experience.
You can totally do that. Camping on site. Yeah. Children who don't act I'm not like worried about are welcome.
It's not once I'm there. It's getting there.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys. If you want to support the podcast, here's or our whole thing here. Unloosethegoose.com. Share it with your friends. Share this episode with your friends. Connect with us on social. We'll be back next Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Honk.
Talk to you later. Honk, honk, honk.